Hello everyone, welcome back to Architecture and Planning with Rahul. If you are preparing for the ATP exam, today's session is going to be extremely important for you. Many students feel that acts and legal provisions are difficult, dry, and hard to remember. But trust me, once you understand the story behind them, everything starts making sense. And today, we are not going to memorize them. We are going to understand.
Rahul, honestly, whenever I see all these acts, it feels overwhelming. How do we even connect them?
That's exactly what we'll do today. Think of it as a timeline of how governance and planning evolved in MP. Let's go back to 1956. This was the time when Madhya Pradesh was formed as a state. Naturally, large cities needed a proper administrative system. That is when the Madhya Pradesh Nagar Palika Nigam Adhiniyam 1956 was enacted. Its purpose was simple but powerful: to legally establish municipal corporations in major cities and give them authority to manage urban services, roads, drainage, sanitation, public health, taxation. Everything required a structured urban body. This act gave cities the power to function systematically.
So that was mainly about managing big cities, right?
Exactly. But governance doesn't work without land clarity. That brings us to 1959, when the Madhya Pradesh Bhu Rajasva Sanhita 1959 was enacted. This act became the backbone of land administration in the state. It defined land ownership, revenue collection, rights of landholders, and the powers of revenue officers like the collector. For any planner or ATP aspirant, understanding land categories and revenue structure begins here. Without clear land records, planning cannot happen. Now, as cities grew, it became clear that not every urban area was a large corporation. Smaller towns also needed governance. So in 1961, the Madhya Pradesh Nagar Palika Adhiniyam 1961 was introduced. This act focused on municipal councils and smaller urban bodies. It ensured that even medium and small towns had a legal framework for civic services and administration.
Okay, so by now, big cities and smaller towns were both covered under proper governance.
Yes, but something was still missing. Governance was there, revenue was there. But what about planning, controlled development, zoning? That's when one of the most important laws for all ATP aspirants came into existence: the Madhya Pradesh Nagar Tata Gram Nivesh Adhiniyam 1973. This act introduced scientific town planning in Madhya Pradesh. It provided for preparation of development plans, master plans, zoning regulations, and establishment of planning authorities. Before this act, cities could grow randomly. After this act, development became regulated. Land use was controlled. Planning areas were declared. This is the heart of urban planning law in the state.
Now I understand why everyone says the 1973 Act is so important for the ATP exam. It's actually the core planning law.
Absolutely. You must understand the structure and intention of this act clearly.
To further regulate how land development was happening on the ground, the state introduced the Madhya Pradesh Bhumi Vikas Niyam 1984. These rules focused on controlling land subdivision, plotting, and layout approvals, ensuring that basic standards like roads, open spaces, and infrastructure were maintained during development.
Now let's shift focus from cities to villages. In 1993, after the 73rd Constitutional Amendment, decentralization became a national priority. Madhya Pradesh enacted the Madhya Pradesh Panchayat Raj Evam Gram Swaraj Adhiniyam 1993. This act empowered rural local bodies, Gram Panchayat, Janpad Panchayat, and Zilla Panchayat. The idea was simple but transformative. Development decisions should not come only from the top. Villages must participate in their own governance.
So, urban areas had structured laws, and now rural areas were empowered too. That really completes the governance structure.
Exactly.
Later, as development pressures increased, the state introduced the Madhya Pradesh Bhumi Vikas Niyam 2012. The 2012 amendments brought stricter norms, better approval mechanisms, and more accountability in land development practices, making the system more structured and effective.
But as we entered the modern era, technology began changing governance. Land disputes and outdated surveys were major issues. That's when the Madhya Pradesh Bhumi Sarvekshan Evam Bhumi Abhilekh Adhiniyam 2020 came into force. This act focused on scientific surveys, digital land records, GIS based mapping, and improving transparency. For planners, accurate land data is everything. This act modernized land administration for the digital age. And as cities continued expanding beyond municipal boundaries, a new challenge emerged. Metropolitan regions were growing larger than individual municipal corporations. To address this, the government enacted the Madhya Pradesh Mahanagar Kshetra Niyojan Evam Vikas Adhiniyam 2025. This act is specifically designed for metropolitan regions, not just a single city, but an entire urban agglomeration, including the core city, surrounding municipalities, peripheral villages, and growth corridors.
It's not just about a city, it's about an entire metropolitan region. That's a big shift.
If you look carefully, this is not just a list of acts, it is the story of evolution from land revenue in 1959 to municipal governance in 1956 and 1961 to planned development in 1973 to rural decentralization in 1993 to digital modernization in 2020 and now metropolitan regional planning in 2025. Each act solved a problem of understand why each law was enacted. When you connect the purpose with the timeline, you will never forget them.
Honestly, now it doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It feels like a journey, like we're seeing how planning evolved step by step.
Exactly. And as future planners, understanding law is not optional, it is foundational. Thank you for watching Architecture and Planning with Rahul. If you found this helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. In the next video, we'll go deeper into the 1973 Planning Act with exam-focused discussion. Until then, keep learning, keep planning,